Hi, good day, grade 9 students. I am going to discuss to you about solving quadratic equations by factoring. And we also need to identify whether that expression is factorable or not. So how? Okay, we need to get the discriminant of the expression. Okay, so how are we going to get the discriminant of one expression? Okay, so we need to use b squared minus 4c as defined by the discriminant. Okay, so we need to use that formula to get the discriminant of one expression. And also class, okay, if the discriminant is factorable or if the discriminant is a perfect square, then we can say that the expression is factorable. If the discriminant is not a perfect square, then we can say that that expression is not factorable. Okay, ma'am, how? Okay, so I will give you some example to determine whether that quadratic expression is factorable or not. Okay, so first we need to determine the discriminant of the expression. So as we all know, class, we have the standard form ax squared plus bx plus c in quadratic equation. Okay, so we need to follow that. Standard form for us to get the discriminant of one expression. Okay, so we have x squared plus 2x. So how are we going to get the discriminant of this expression? First is to identify the values of A, B, and C. So after identifying the values of A, B, and C, then we can substitute those numbers to this equation b squared minus 4ac to find the value of discriminant. Okay, so now let's write down all the values of A, B, and C. Okay, so here we have A, B, and C. So what is the value of A? What is the value of B? Okay, so as we can see, as we all know, class, this one is ax squared. The leading coefficient of ax squared is what we need to get or to write down the leading coefficient rather. Okay, so the leading coefficient of x squared is 1. Okay, very good. And the leading coefficient of bx is the leading coefficient, the number, okay, is 2. Okay, and c is 0. Ma'am, why 0? Okay, 0 because wala po siyang value. Wala po tayong nakikitang C sa ating expression. Okay, so now that we all know the values of A, B, and C, we can substitute them to B squared minus 4AC. Okay, so how are we going to substitute that value? Okay, so first we need to write down the formula B squared minus 4AC here. Para hindi po kayo nalilito, kailangan nyo pong isulat lahat ng gagamitin yung formula para si ma'am ay hindi rin malito. Okay, so what is the value of B? Okay, the value of B is 2. Okay, B. Okay, substitution lang po ha, substitution. Okay, right, 4. And what is the value of A? We have 1. And the value of C is equal to 0. Okay, very good. Now that you already substitute the values of b squared minus 4ac, then we can simplify these numbers. Okay, 2 raised to 2 is equal to 4. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 0 is 0. Okay, so any number you multiply to 0 is always 0. Then 4 minus 0 is equal to 4. So this is now the discriminant. Okay, so this is now the discriminant of the expression x squared plus 2x. Okay, naiintindihan po? Do you think, class, that 4 is a perfect square? Okay, very good. So 4 is a perfect square because 2 times 2 is equal to 4, or the square root of 4 is equal to 2. So we can say that 4 is a perfect square. And katulad po ng sinabi ko kanina, if the discriminant is a perfect square, then we can say that the expression is factorable. Okay, so ibig sabihin po, x squared plus 2x is factorable. So now, dahil nga nasabi na po natin na factorable si x squared plus 2x, pwede na po natin siyang i-factor out, or we need to, pwede na po natin kuhanin ang kanyang factor. Okay, so ma'am, paano naman po kuhanin ang factor ni x squared plus 2x, or paano naman po kumuha ng factor ng isang expression? Okay, do you have any idea on how to find the factor of one expression? Okay, class. So, noong grade 8 nyo, nung grade 8 pa lang po kayo, okay? So, naituro na po ito sa inyo, okay? So, ngayon, ipapaalala ko na lang ulit. So, as you can see, we only have two terms. If we have two terms, then we can say that we need to get the common factor of these two terms. Okay? Common factor. When we say factor, yung meron sa isang term at the same time, meron din po sa isang term. Magkapareho po sila. Common factor. Okay. So, isusulat ko po muna dito. We have x squared. Here, we have x squared plus 2x. Okay. Very good. So, we have x squared plus 2x as our given expression. Okay, so what do you think is the common factor of this expression? Okay, yung sabi ko nga po ulit, kapag sinabi natin common factor, meron po sa dalawang term. Meron sa term na ito at meron din po sa term na ito. Okay, so ano nga ba ang meron silang pagkakapareho? Okay, very good. So meron silang parehong x, tama po. Okay, ang isang x meron siyang exponent na 2 at ang isa namang pong term ay meron siyang exponent na 1. Okay, lagi niyo pong tatandaan sa pagkuha po ng factor ng isang variable, yung pinakamababang exponent po ang kukuhanin natin. But make sure that variable is visible to all terms. Okay? So kapag sinabi natin visible to all terms, lahat po ng terms ay may variable po na yun. Okay? Kasi nga po, common factor. Okay, so now, dahil ang common factor nila ay x, we can say that the one factor is x. Okay. Don't forget to put parentheses beside the common factor. Okay, so what is the next step? Okay, you are going to divide every term to the common factor that you get. Okay, so first is x squared. Okay, so we have x squared divided by x. Okay, when dividing variables or when dividing exponent, you are subtracting the exponent. Okay, so x squared divided by x is equal to x. Okay, very good. Because 2 minus 1 is 1 and you don't need to write 1. So, ang ilalagay na lang po natin dito ay x. Okay. Again, that is x squared divided by x. Okay? So, next, we have 2x divided by x. Okay, so 2x divided by x is equal to 2. Okay. Pag nalilito kayo, lagyan nyo na lang ng ganito. Okay, don't forget to put here para malaman natin na dinidivide natin siya. Okay, kung ayaw nyo pong magmano-mano. Okay, so x squared divided by x, 2 minus 1 is 1. Mas mataas yung nasa numerator, kaya numerator yung kukuhanin natin, nagiging whole number siya. So, si x ang natira. 2x divided by x, cancel out this 1. Ang natira ay si 2, kaya ang nilagay po natin ay 2. So, the factor of expression x squared plus 2x is equal to, okay, very good. So, x times x plus 2. So this is now the factor of, okay, ito na po ang ating factor. Factor of x squared. Ayan, yan na po yung factor ng ating x squared plus 2x. Okay, naiintindihan po? Okay, don't forget that if we have two terms class, okay, isa lang po ang magiging factor niyan, common factor niya. Ganyan po lagi magiging kalabasan. You need to get the least common factor. Okay, kapag sinabi natin common factor, yung meron po sa term na yon. Okay. Okay po, naiintindihan po? Okay, so now let's proceed po sa ating susunod na example. Okay, so let's have another example given x squared plus 3x plus 2. Okay, what is the first step? You need to find out if the discriminant is a perfect square or not. Again, the first step is to find out if the discriminant is a perfect square or not. Okay, first we need to write down the formula that we need to use, that we are going to use. Okay, so we have b squared minus 4ac. Okay, very good. Now list down the values of a, b, and c. So we have a, b, and c. Okay, so lagi po nating tatandaan kapag po nakakalimutan natin na ito po ang ating a, ax squared, this is our bx, and this is our c. Okay, so now let's identify the values. Okay, so A is 1 because there's an invisible 1 there, 1. And then B is 3 and C is 2. Okay, so now using the formula that we have, the B squared minus 4AC, we can substitute these values po sa ating formula. So B squared minus 4AC, what is the value of B? So we have 3, yes, the value of B is 3. Squared minus 4. What is the value of A? Very good. The value of A is 1. And the value of C is 2. Very good. Hindi nyo po pwedeng pagtabi-tabihin ang number ng walang parentheses. Okay? So, what is 3 squared? Okay, 3 squared is equal to 9 because 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so negative 4 times 1 is negative 4. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Okay, so 9 minus 8 is equal to 1. Okay, the discriminant of our expression is equal to 1. Okay, very good. So it's equal to 1. Do you think that 1 is a perfect square? Okay, so 1 is a perfect square because 1 is a special number. Okay, so 1 times 1 is 1. So we can say that 1 is a perfect square. Because our discriminant is a perfect square, we can say that the expression that we have is factorable because the discriminant is perfect square. Okay, so now we have 3 terms here, or we have trinomial, given trinomial expression. Okay, quadratic expression. So how are you going to get the factor of these terms or of this expression? Ma'am, wala po silang common factor kasi si 2 wala siyang x. Tapos, hindi naman po natin pwedeng makuha ang kanilang least common factor kasi nga po wala po silang magkakapareho. Okay, if the given is trinomial, if the given is in the standard form ax squared plus bx plus c, okay, the first thing you need to do is to get the factor of the last term. Okay, what is the last term? Okay, the last term is 2. Okay, susulat ko po muna dito ha. Okay, so sulat ko po ulit yung ating given number, ay given expression. So we have x squared plus 3x plus 2. Okay, so if we have this kind of given expression class, lagi po nating tatandaan that the factor is binomial. When we say binomial, dalawa. Okay? So first is you need to get the factor of 2. Okay, so dahil grade 9 students naman na kayo, I'm sure nakabisado nyo naman na po siguro ang ating multiples, okay? Ang ating multiplication table. Okay, alam nyo po kung ano po ang factor ng numbers natin. So, what do you think is the factor of 2? Okay, ang factor po ng 2 ay 2 times 1. Okay, you don't need to write everything. Okay, you don't need to write everything. Okay po. Ma'am, paano po? Lagi niyo pong tatandaan na kapag kukuhanin niyo ang factor ng last term, okay, yung kapag pinag-add niyo po yung dalawang number na ito, ang kalalabasan po ay 3. Itong middle term. Okay? Again, kapag kinuha po natin ang factor ng last term, kailangan po nating tandaan na kapag pinag-add po natin yun, ang kalalabasan ay middle term. Okay po? So let's find the value or let's get the factor of 2. So the factor of 2 is 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Do you think, class, that if we add these two numbers, ang kalalabasan niya po ay 3? Okay, very good. So we have 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Okay, so ibig sabihin, ito na po yung gagamitin nating factor sa ating expression. Okay, so now let's, ganito po siya lagi kapag po trinomial. Ganyan po siya lagi. Okay? So, ang gagawin po natin, dahil nga po meron na tayong factor ni 2 na 1 and 2, at kapag pinag-add po natin yung dalawang to, ang kalalabasan ay 3, ito na po ang gagamitin nating factor sa ating expression. Okay? So, ma'am, paano po? Okay, susulat niyo lang po dito, that is positive 1, and that is positive 2. Positive 2. Okay? So now, ito naman po ang ipa-factor out ninyo, si x squared. Okay, ma'am, paano po? Okay, what do you think is the factor of x squared kapag pinaghiwalay natin sila? Okay, the factor of x squared is always x times x. Don't forget that. Okay, the factor of x squared is always x times x. So this is now the factor of x squared plus 3x plus 2. How sure are we that this is the factor of x squared plus 3x plus 2? Okay, pwede niyo po siyang i-check using FOIL method. Ma'am, paano po namin siya i-check using FOIL method? Okay, so di ba, syempre, first term, this one. Okay, x times x is x squared. X times 2 is positive 2x. 1 times x is positive x or 1x. 1 times 2 is positive 2. Okay, simplify kasi magkapareho po ito, di ba? So, x squared plus 2x plus 3x plus 2x plus x is 3x plus 2. Okay, pareho po ba sila ng ating given? Okay, so very good. Pareho lang po sila. Okay, nakukuha po? Okay, so very good. Now let's proceed to another example. Okay, so we have this one, x squared minus 9. As you can see, class, wala po siyang second term or the bx. Okay, if you have this kind of expression, class, hindi nyo na po kailangan i-determine ang kanyang discriminant. Ma'am, why? If the last term is a perfect square and you only have x squared, and then we can say that this is factorable. Okay, if the last term is a perfect square and you only have x squared and x squared is a perfect square also, then we can say that this is factorable. Okay, so ma'am, paano po mag-factor nito? Simple lang po. Kapag po meron tayong perfect square and the operation is negative at wala po tayong middle term, ibig pong sabihin ang magiging factor pa rin po natin ay binomial. Pero, okay, basta ganito. Magiging factor pa rin po natin ay binomial class. Okay, so what is the square root of -9? Or what is the factor of -9? So -9. Okay, what is the factor of -9? Okay, the factor of -9 is -3 times +3. Okay, ma'am, bakit po hindi siya pwedeng maging -9 times +1? Kasi kapag pinag-add po natin si -1 times 1, -9 times 1, the answer ay kapag pinag-add po natin si -9 plus 1, the answer is -8. Tama po. Eh wala naman po tayong middle term. Okay? So kapag pinag-add naman natin si -3 plus 3, the answer is 0. Okay? So ibig sabihin na masasatisfy po niya ang ating expression. Tama po? Okay. So ganito class, kapag po perfect square po ang ating last term, dapat po kung ano po yung perfect square niya, kung ano po yung square root niya, yun po yung gagamitin natin. And then dapat po magkaiba sila ng sign. Again, kapag po perfect square po ang ating last term at wala po siyang second term, ibig sabihin po kung ano po yung square root ng number na yon, ng perfect square na yon, yun po yung gagamitin natin pero magkaiba po sila ng sign. Okay, so the answer is, again, what is the square root of x squared or what is the factor of x squared? We have x times x, di ba po? So x times x. Okay, so let's write this down, -3 plus 3. Okay, so pwede po siyang baliktad, pwede po mauna sa x plus 3 times x minus 3. Pwede rin naman pong x minus 3 times x plus 3. Okay, nakaka-follow po? Okay, ma'am, paano niyo po nasabi na tama po ang sagot natin, na tama po yung factor natin? Okay, so let's check. Okay, using FOIL method. So x times x is x squared. X times 3 is positive 3x. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. And negative 3 times positive 9 is negative 9. Okay, so 3x minus 3x is equal to 0. So cancel out. Ang matitira na lang po ay si x squared minus 9. So pareho po ba sila? Okay, parehong-pareho po sila. Okay, again, don't forget that kapag po meron tayong perfect square as your last term, tapos wala po siyang given na middle term or the second term or the big X, okay, so the factor is always the square root of that last number, of that perfect square. Okay, then don't forget, syempre, if you multiply that number, dapat ang magiging kalabasan po niya ay negative. Okay, so we have negative times positive is equal to negative 9. Okay, naiintindihan po? Okay, so now let's proceed to another example. Okay. Okay, so now let's proceed to another example. Given 2x squared minus 5x minus 15 plus 3. Okay, so kung mapapansin nyo po, meron pa po tayong hindi nakukuha dito. Hindi pa natin nasisimplify. Meron pa siya negative 15 plus 3. Okay, we need to simplify this form po muna or this expression for us to, before we find out if this expression is factorable or not. Okay, so now let's proceed. Okay, so we need to write it as 2x squared minus 5x. Negative 15 plus 3 is negative 12. So this is now the expression that we need to get. Okay, the factor of that we need to get the factor. Okay, paano ba? Yung makukuhanin nating factor. Okay? Ito na po siyang expression na to. Okay, now let's find out if the discriminant is a perfect square or not by using b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so now let's identify the values of a, b, and c. The value of a is 2. The value of b is negative 5. And the value of c is negative 12. Okay, using the formula, we have b squared is, b is negative 5 squared minus 4, a is 2, and c is negative 12. Okay, so now let's simplify these numbers. Negative 5 times negative 5 is equal to 25. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 times negative 12 is positive 96. Okay, so let's find the sum of these two numbers. 25 plus 96 is 121. Okay, so this is now the discriminant of our expression, 121. So do you think that 121 is a perfect square? Okay, yes, 121 is a perfect square. So we can say that the expression is factorable. Ma'am, paano naman po mag-factor if we have leading coefficient 2 in our trinomial or in our quadratic expression? Kung kanina po x squared lang, ang leading coefficient niya ay 1. Ngayon naman po, ang leading coefficient niya ay 2. Ma'am, paano naman po yun? Okay, so let's find out. Sulat po muna natin ulit. Okay, so we have 2x squared minus 5x minus 12 as our quadratic expression. So ma'am, paano po namin kukuhanin ang factor ng 2x squared minus 5x minus 12 if we have a leading coefficient of 2? Okay, first thing you need to do is to multiply the leading coefficient of A and the coefficient of C. Okay, multiply. So 2 times negative 12 is negative 24. So now, you are going to get the factor of this number, negative 24, na kapag po pinag-multiply natin or kapag po pinag-add po natin ang factor na yon, ang magiging kalalabasan po ay negative 5. So meron tayong factor na, ano ba yung mga factor ng negative 24? So we have 6 times 4. Okay, 6 times 4, kapag pinag-minus natin yon, 6 minus 4 is 2. So hindi siya pwede. Okay? So, pwede rin siyang 12 times 2. Okay, 12 minus 2 is 10 or negative 10. Hindi rin siya pwede. One thing is, negative 4 times 1. Kapag pinag-minus natin yon, negative 4 minus 1 is 23. And the last is 8 times 3. Okay, kapag pinag-minus natin yon, 8 minus 5 is positive 3 or negative 8 plus 5 is negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. Okay, so anong gagamitin natin? Okay, the 8 times 3. Okay, ito po yung gagamitin nating factor. Okay, pero tama po ba na positive 8 and positive 3? Kasi kapag positive 8 tsaka positive 3, ang kalalabasan po niyan as sum is 11. Tama po? Okay, ano nga po ulit yung ating middle term? Negative 5. Okay, kapag pinag-minus po natin ito, ano magiging sagot? Dapat 5. Okay, so ano po yung mas mataas na sign dapat? Si 8 ba o si 3? Okay, so si 8. So negative 8. So negative 8 plus 3 is equal to negative 5. So ito po yung gagamitin nating factor. Okay, so we have negative 8 and positive 3. Ma'am, ano naman po yung first? Okay, wag po muna natin papansinin itong ating exponent. Ma'am, ano pong papansinin natin? Itong 2x lang po. I-distribute lang po natin siya dito sa dalawang column or sa dalawang parenthesis. Eh ma'am, kapag pinag-multiply po natin yan, 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Eh ang ating leading coefficient po ay 2 lang. Okay, hindi pa po dyan nagtatapos. Okay, titignan nyo pong mabuti if the factor or if the parenthesis is factorable pa po. Or we need to get or we need to divide the leading coefficient into 2. Okay, so ma'am, paano po yon? Si 2 or si 2x minus 8, ano po yung magiging common factor nila? Least common factor. That is 2. Okay, so we need to divide them by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So ang matitira ay si x. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. Okay, so si 2 divisible ba siya kay 3? No. If the number or if the leading coefficient or if the least common factor is not divisible by that number, then huwag niyo na po siyang gagalawin. Dahil hindi naman po divisible si 2 kay 3, then huwag niyo na po siyang gagalawin. Isulat niyo na lang po siya as 2x plus 3. Then this is now the factor of 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. Okay, ma'am, paano po namin malalaman kung tama po yung sagot namin? Okay, so we need to check it by using FOIL method. Okay, so using FOIL method, we have x times 2x, we have 2x squared. X times 3, we have positive 3x. Negative 4 times 2x, we have negative 8x. Then negative 4 times 3, we have negative 12. Okay, so let's simplify 2x squared. Positive 3x minus 8x, we have, it will give us 5x minus 12. Okay, pareho lang po ba sa ating given number? Okay, pareho lang po sila. So, ibig sabihin that the factor x minus 4 times 2x plus 3 is the factor of 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. Okay po, nag-gets po? Okay, very good. Okay, so let's end this video sa last example na po. Ito, magbibigay ulit ako ng another example sa mga susunod na video. Okay, goodbye and God bless. Great day, students.